How's it going, everyone? Sean here from Raw Technique Studios. Today we're going to look at using a gate to cut the tail end out of a kick if it's something that you don't want there in your kick. So for example, we have this kick drum right here. And you can hear that it has this really long tail to it, like it's in a space, like a reverb type of tail. We might not want that. We might just want that initial part of the kick where it's nice and punchy, and then we get rid of all of that back end reverb on it. So what we could do is use a gate to do that. I'm going to show you a very simple and easy to use gate, which is in RVox. It's simply just a threshold knob on when the gate kicks in. So what you want to do is find the point where it lets the initial transient come through, which you want to keep, and then it takes down the rest of the signal. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull it down to about right here to show you what it sounds like if you're too low on the threshold. So what it's doing is letting this first part, it lets the initial transient come through, and then it lets all of this section right here come through as well. And then it starts gating it out and none of this comes through. So all of this section right here is now gated out, but we still have this in there. So we want to back the threshold off so we could get rid of some of this as well. If we go too far, now we're getting rid of all of that tail end, but we're also getting rid of some of the initial kick transient as well. So that's something we don't want. We're getting rid of too much of the kick. So what I'm going to do is back that threshold off a little bit and bring it down so I'm in between those 2 points and see how this sounds. Alright, so that is a lot better. It's in between the two. We're able to get rid of most of the tail end, and we're not affecting the initial punch transient part of the kick drum. So that sounds a lot better. So here's the before and the after. It's nice and punchy. We don't have any of that annoying tail end. If that's something you want to keep, then obviously you wouldn't do this, but I don't really like a long reverb tail on my kick drum, so I would gate that out. So let's say you want to have even more control over your gate. The RVox has no parameters that you could adjust. It has no release function, has no attack function, it has no ratio, it doesn't have any of that stuff. So all you're stuck with is a threshold knob right here. So if you want to be able to control it a little bit more and maybe get a little bit more of this out of here, but not have to sacrifice getting some of the transient as well, then I would use a more advanced gate which has more parameters, and you could go in and adjust a lot of the other features. So let's go ahead and look at that. See how we were able to gate out much more than using the RVox? We're able to set our release different, we're able to set our knee and our hold and all that different. It looks like on the RVox what it does is has a slower release. So let me back this release off, and this is what the RVox looks like it's doing. See how it lets a little bit through? Now let's look at the RVox print. See how it does the same thing? Now you have no control on the RVox on release, but on here we do. So let's bring our release way down here, and now look at it. It tightens that up a lot more, and we could get rid of a lot more tail using an actual gate with a parameter of release. So if you want to have something that's super quick, you could throw RVox on there. You just throw it on and you could gate it out, and it sounds pretty good. It gets out most of the tail end of something. But if you want something with a faster release, you need something where you can adjust that. So for example, I'm using the FabFilter Pro G. You could use the stock Pro Tools gate if you want. It has control over release as well, but the whole point is fast attack, fast release, set your threshold so the original transient comes through, all that punch comes through, but everything else, all that tail end is below the threshold. You have a high ratio, so it pulls it down all the way, and also you don't have any hold, and you have a hard knee on it, so it's not letting anything come through. Alright, so that is how you gate out the tail end of a kick drum or a snare or pretty much anything that you don't want the tail end to. This is how you would set it up using a gate. If you guys are interested in the 4 steps to a professionally mixed beat, go ahead and click that link down below in the description, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.